Hey Lynn fam, Happy New Year! Sorry it's been a little while since my last video. I had family over for Christmas and New Year's and then I got sick, so it's just been one thing after another here. I hope you guys are well though. We are back just in time for double Game Week 20 and it is all popping off. So please do drop a like if you're enjoying this content. Let's try to hit 60 likes on this video. That would be absolutely amazing. Do pop me a comment below. Are you doing well? Are you all set up for the double game weeks? Because they are going to start coming thick and fast now. Lastly, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. That would be absolutely amazing. You're really helping me out. Okay, let's get into this. So Kepa let in a bit of a clanger against City in the first leg of his double game week, giving him just 2 points. We'll have to wait and see if he can do better against Fulham, but we're all hoping he can because he was the reason he came into my unlimited transfers during the restart. Moving on to my defence, Trips continues to do trippier things with a clean sheet and 2 bonus points for 8 points towards my team total. This guy, man, he has been absolutely amazing this season. Shaw was my newcomer for this game week. Odd for me to go for a single game week player in a double game week, especially when the opportunity arises. However, I just really wanted Shaw in my team. He was in most of my unlimited transfer drafts, as you guys will remember, and I should have just got him in at the time. However, I went with James because he had the double. Hoped everything would be fine. Unfortunately, he got injured, but thank goodness I did go with Shaw this week because 15 points was massive for me. I really needed it in a very, very tough game week. Cancelo finally started a game and we were hoping for great things. Unfortunately, the new system that Pep was playing Cancelo and Walker in just wasn't working for them, so he subbed them off for half time. This one hurt, I ain't gonna lie, because City then went on to keep a clean sheet and White has a clean sheet sat on my bench with 7 points. I have had a bit of bad luck the last couple of game weeks with subs missing out on their clean sheet because I had White in the previous game week when he got subbed off early and missed out on his clean sheet too. So it's just been defensive nightmare with early subs at the moment. In midfield, at least it looks as if Andreas may start against Chelsea because he played during the cup, but he hasn't really brought anything to the table recently and got subbed early in the last game for just 1 point. So not really expecting much, a little bit disappointing from the Fulham guys. Salah has been a tough own recently, just 2 points from him when it really should have been so much more. Like, so much more. Nelly looked so good, but Newcastle defence has just been so brilliant this season. They've managed to stay steady most of it. It was a good 0-0 draw, but unfortunately only rewarded me with 3 points. Rashford, however, has been on form since the restart and I've been very grateful to have him in my team. He left it late with this game week but nabbed a goal for 8 points towards my team total. Up front, I don't really know how I got away with no Haaland captaincy. It feels like he could score at any point against anybody, so a rare blank was sorely needed in game week 19 and thankfully he stayed quiet. Hopefully back on it next game week though, when we will all be captaining again with the double game week, maybe even triple captaining. So yeah, he definitely needs to be getting back on that scoring train. Darwin, oh my, this guy, seriously, when I say Salah is frustrating to own at the minute, Darwin is worse. So many chances missed, and when he does score, it's offside. Like, yeah, and then he goes and does it in the cup. Like, seriously, you're like, come on guys. Salah, Darwin scoring in the cup, nothing in the Premier League. It's just been a whole lot of hurt. It's not great, an awful lot of stress for just 1 point from him. Talking of a whole lot of bad, Mitrovic springs to mind too. The 1 week that Haaland blanked and I captained someone else, it is gutting that Mitrovic got booked and is now going to miss out on the Chelsea game. And I have to say, I genuinely feel like that booking was a little bit harsh. I don't feel like it was a yellow card. But there you are, it happened and now he's suspended for the Chelsea game. Look, you know, it felt like it was going to happen if we all went there, and it did. So I guess it didn't hurt too much. It's just a little bit frustrating because of the fact that we did actually decide to jump and try a different captaincy in a double game week, and it's a bit of a shame it didn't work out. I could have done a little better if I had played White over Cancelo, but I had to see if Cancelo was going to start this week, and yeah, when he did, I thought all was well with the world. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem to be that way, which leaves me in a little bit of a pickle next game week. But all of that means I got 53 points so far, obviously with a couple of doublers still left to go this week, placing me on a red arrow to 75,589th. It was Harry Kane that did the absolute damage to my team and my rank. I was at 40k before Spurs played, and when Harry Kane went mental, I dropped to the 70ks. So that definitely needs to be something I need to think about going forward, especially with him having a double up next. So moving on to game week 20, and this is how I'm currently lining up. I'm not in great shape for the doubles, just based off of City assets mainly. I think I got a little bit lucky with the United lads, having got Shaw in the game week before and having restarted with Rashford in my team, so that's quite nice. However, I did start with Salah over KDB in the restart, so now means potentially need to get myself a City midfielder in, which is a little bit difficult because KDB hasn't been on top form and players like Mahrez and Grealish have just kind of been taking away a few points. However, KDB is so highly owned that if he does something over the other two, then that is something I will really need to be thinking about. So, as also the problem with Cancelo and potentially another City player down there with rotation. Obviously, I will have a look and see what happens during the week with that, but it does very much look like he may be starting to miss out a lot now, which is tough because to drop Cancelo ahead of a double is extremely, extremely difficult. So it looks very much like I'll be taking a hit for game week 20. The easiest moves, I guess, for me are a -4 to move Salah and Darwin out to KDB and Kane. Now, Kane is on a yellow suspension tightrope, and this means losing both of my Liverpool players who may yet double in game week 21. It also means I am keeping hold of Cancelo, who may not even play. So whilst this is nice and neat and it keeps within my budget, it does have its downsides. I could do a -8 with these particular transfers and do Stones in for Cancelo in the hope that Stones is a safer bet, but that is one I would have to really think about. Because I feel like if I'm taking a -8, it feels better to me if I'm trying to keep some of my Liverpool players in my team in the hope that they do get a double in game week 21. So I have two options with this. This is the first one, and it is keeping Salah and selling Darwin for Kane. Then I can move Andreas on for Grealish and Cancelo on for Aki, Akanji or Lewis. Obviously, this is quite risky, I'd say, because Grealish and any one of those City defenders that I just mentioned are potentially more at risk at rotation than, say, a KDB and Stones. But the plus side here is I am getting to keep Salah, and Grealish is potentially an easy move on to a double game week player next game week in, say, Odegaard if Arsenal double, or to find a little bit more cash and to even potentially go Gakpo if Pool get one. So there's some hop along options with these particular transfers. The second is this one, and it is to keep Darwin and to sell Mitrovic for Kane, Salah to KDB and Cancelo for Stones. It keeps a pool player in case they double, albeit that player is the massive miss merchant that is Darwin. However, he has to score at some point in the Premier League sometime soon. Hopefully, if I still have him in my team. Otherwise, you know, he can carry on keeping quiet. But it does keep this kind of KDB Salah spot to move right back to Salah next game week if I need to, if Pool double. The only slight downside with this is if Arsenal do get a double along with Pool next game week, it does mean I might need to consider another -4 to potentially get another Arsenal player in. Maybe by doing Odegaard in for Almiron, or maybe even Nketiah in for Kane. I mean, Kane is hopefully a long-term transfer, just looking at these big hits. But yeah, it's an option if I want to consider it. Honestly, I feel like I'm not set up well for these doubles. Kane is a big headache because if I leave him, I can just get Mahrez in for Andreas and decide on a -4 to maybe do Cancelo to Stones, or another defender I think might start. But Kane hurt my rank so bad last week. Like, that drop from 40k to 70k is such a big drop. I need to take notice of that. People are clearly owning him around me, and that is only going to get bigger for the double game week. So even with a suspension potentially looming, we know how good he is against Arsenal. He loves a goal against us, so this is a tough one. Lots of info still yet to come this week, but this is my initial thoughts. I'll keep you guys updated as always on my socials, and do let me know in the comments below what you would do in my situation. And that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then please do smash a like and please do subscribe to the channel. We're all mates here. I need as many ride or dies as possible. Also, do feel free to check out the sponsors of this video, fantasyfootballfix.com. Until next time, Nymphrya out.